Hey everyone, it's Marisa from Marisa in the World. So here's a big question we all wonder at some point. What really makes you happy? Is it the next shiny object you can buy? Maybe it's a social media post that gets tons of likes. Or perhaps it's the fleeting thrill of an amazing vacation. While all those things are fun, what if I told you they might not be what you're truly craving? Today, we're diving into the difference between true happiness and temporary pleasure. And by the end of this video, you'll have a new perspective on what's really worth chasing in life. Plus, stay tuned to the end because I've got a bonus tip for you that might just change how you approach happiness. You don't want to miss it. Okay, I have a quick question for you. Have you ever bought something you really wanted, like a new phone, a fancy pair of shoes, or that piece of jewelry you couldn't resist? Now, at first, it felt like you were on top of the world, right? You had that rush, the excitement of something new. But after a few days, that feeling started to fade. You probably started thinking, what's next? I've been there too. It's kind of like the joy of opening a present on Christmas morning and then realizing you're just as happy with the wrapping paper as you are the gift itself. Temporary pleasure can be fun, but it's not exactly long-lasting. So let's get into the heart of the matter. What really makes you happy in the long run? Is it all the fun, temporary things we often chase, or is it something deeper and more meaningful? Number one, the difference between true happiness and temporary pleasure. Let's break this down. There's a big difference between true happiness and temporary pleasure. Temporary pleasure is exactly what it sounds like. Those short-lived bursts of joy we feel when we indulge in something fun. Think about that new gadget you buy or a weekend getaway you've been dreaming of. At first it feels amazing, you feel on top of the world, but over time the excitement starts to wear off and you're left looking for the next high to chase. It's like a sugar rush. It tastes good for a bit, but soon it fades away. Now let's talk about true happiness. True happiness is the kind of joy that sticks around, even when the newness wears off. It's deeper. It's like the feeling you get after a long conversation with a close friend, or when you watch your kids grow and succeed, or when you help someone and know you've made a difference. True happiness doesn't fade, it lasts. And here's the thing. Temporary pleasures are like the frosting on a cake. They're sweet and make everything look beautiful, but the real satisfaction comes from the cake itself. True happiness is like the cake, filling, satisfying, and nourishing. Are you starting to see the difference? The next step is how we can move from chasing temporary pleasures to finding true happiness. But before we go any further, if you're loving this conversation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us here at Marisa in the World where we dive deep into the topics like this every week. Number two, the impact of temporary pleasure on our lives. All right, let's take a closer look at how constantly chasing temporary pleasure can affect us. We've all been there, buying something we really wanted, only to feel a sense of emptiness a little while later. Or indulging in something like food or drink, thinking it will make us happy, only to realize we feel more sluggish afterward. This constant cycle of seeking the next quick fix can actually leave us feeling more unsatisfied in the long run. Think about it. If you're always seeking the next high, it can leave you feeling drained, and you start to rely on these pleasures to fill up what's missing inside. You might find yourself saying, I'll be happy once I get this. Or if I just go on this vacation, I'll finally be content. But the truth is, these things don't really address the deeper need for connection, purpose, or fulfillment. They're like trying to fill a cup that has a hole in the bottom. You pour and pour, but it never quite fills up. That's the tricky thing about temporary pleasures. They never fully satisfy. Sure, they're fun in the moment, but they don't give us the long-lasting contentment that comes with true happiness. Number three, how true happiness feels. So how does true happiness feel? Well, true happiness is grounded in a sense of fulfillment. It's that deep contentment that comes from doing meaningful work, nurturing meaningful relationships, and feeling aligned with your values. Imagine feeling at peace with who you are, knowing you're doing the things that bring you purpose. That's the kind of happiness that sticks around. And let me tell you, true happiness isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about enjoying the little victories, that sense of pride when you've worked hard to achieve a goal, or that warm feeling when you've supported someone through a tough time. True happiness is also about finding joy in simple things, like sitting down to a home-cooked meal with your family, or going on a walk and appreciating nature. It's contentment that comes from within, not from external sources. Doesn't that sound amazing? True happiness is not dependent on what's around you. It comes from who you are and how you connect with others in the world. And guess what? You can start moving towards that right now. I've got some tips coming up on how you can cultivate that true happiness in your own life. But before we dive into that, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything coming up. Number 4, how to find true happiness. So how do you start finding true happiness? It starts with reflection and identifying what truly matters to you. Ask yourself these questions. Number 1, what are the things that bring me the most joy? Not just in the moment, but long term. Number 2, what activities make me feel energized and alive? Number 3, what values do I want to live by, and how can I align my life with them? Take a moment to really think about these questions. The more you connect with what truly matters, the more you'll be able to align your actions with your values, which leads to deeper happiness. It's about building habits that support your well-being, like practicing gratitude, setting meaningful goals, and nurturing your relationships. Here's an example. One of my favorite ways to create lasting happiness is through simple acts of kindness. Whether it's helping a friend or volunteering for a cause, those actions remind me that happiness is not about what I can get, but what I can give. And when you start focusing on others, that's when happiness really begins to multiply. Okay, here it is, the bonus tip. If you want to experience true happiness, here's a little secret. Gratitude. Yes, gratitude is the foundation of lasting joy. Start by reflecting on the good things in your life every day, big or small. Whether it's the support of loved ones or simply having a roof over your head, gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's already abundant in your life. Try keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. It may sound simple, but the impact it can have on your outlook and your happiness is huge. Now that you know the difference between true happiness and temporary pleasure and how to start cultivating joy that lasts, you might be thinking, but how do I stay happy when life throws challenges my way? Well, in my next video, we're talking about building resilience and maintaining happiness through life's ups and downs. You'll definitely want to check it out, so don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Remember, true happiness is a journey, not a destination. And with the right mindset, it's a journey worth taking. Until next time, keep smiling, keep reflecting, and keep embracing the happiness that's already inside of you. See you in the next video.